Hi. As a kid, I was diagnosed with ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. So while I was growing up, it was hard to focus, and even now I still have a hard time with that. I believe I'm way better with it now than I used to be, but it still rears its ugly head every now and again. And the biggest side effect to having a hard time focusing is that it's really easy for you to get bored, and you can get bored a lot. So during my first year of college last year, I realized I needed something to keep me from getting bored all the time while I was waiting for class. So what I did is I decided to get a Rubik's Cube. I just wanted to get something to occupy my time, help me pass the time before classes so I wouldn't just sit there on my phone the entire time and actually do something a bit constructive. So I decided to learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube in my first semester. And that was my goal. I ended up doing that, and I ended up even solving it under a minute. And I thought that was a really cool accomplishment to have um, before I even attempted to even try and solve this thing. I overachieved, and I really liked that. When at first, this Rubik's Cube was only meant to keep me occupied, but over time, it bizarrely helped me make some friends. In my dorm, I'd always keep my door open just to say hi to people passing by, and they could say hi to me. And one time, my buddy Josh, he saw me playing with this thing, learning how to solve it, and he came in interested and decided to try and solve it himself. And he was immediately amused by it. He decided to try and solve it himself, and eventually, over time, everyone was trying to do that themselves. At one point, I had 5 people in my room trying to get this thing solved, and they were just like collaborating, trying to solve it themselves. And at that point, everyone was hooked. They decided to get their own Rubik's Cubes and try and solve it themselves. And it was great to see all that stuff happening. And after everyone ended up getting their own Rubik's Cubes, I decided to intensify it a bit by adding way more difficult Rubik's Cubes. For instance, I got a 4x4, a 5x5, weird triangle thing, and this tiny little Rubik's Cube. I only got this for transportation because this can fit in your pocket way easier than this can. And getting all these cubes, it really showed me that I was not going to get bored for the rest of the semester. And not only that, I think these things actually helped me out with school. They helped me learn how to focus on a subject in school. I was always bad at that, but with these things in my head, I was always easier to focus on something. I learned how to actually stick to a subject for a while. So like some would say that all these cubes I had were a distraction, but in reality, I think they're a very good way to spend my time instead of just sitting around bored. And after getting all these cubes, they were definitely becoming a part of my identity. Like people were associating me with Rubik's cubes. And I concede I may have gotten a bit overboard with getting all these cubes, but that doesn't mean I regret it. In fact, I'm still getting more, including this cube here that has pictures of me and all my friends on the faces of them that my girlfriend got for me. It's definitely my favorite now, and I'm proud to have this thing connected to me because it helped me make friends I never thought I would have, and it helped me get through a tough school year. I genuinely appreciate them.